Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, my friends, and welcome back to the Cozy Club. Guys, Yzma is all gas, no brakes, and is easily becoming one of the better characters within the game. This woman went from a senile old woman that's ready for God's waiting room in Florida, packed her bags, let's go to LA, the hottest city in America, and just fuego. Welcome in Empress Lord Yzma. In today's video, I'm going to inform you, educate you, and straight up just convince you why Yzma is one of the hottest new character refreshes that we've had. I want you to get your minds thinking something like Sully, just going from a decent character to someone on the cusp of S-tier greatness. Overall, with her refresh, she has a kit that's just perfect all around. Some of the best abilities we've seen in the game. She's phenomenal as a plug and play against every Titan within the raid. She's awesome in PvP. And then the best part is she's been around for a long time. A lot of you guys have her, but she's extremely free to play friendly, not only in unlocking her, but in addition, you don't need high gear levels to make her function the best. She's a very simple investment. Let's go ahead and jump into it and pull the lever, baby. So some of you guys might recall that Yzma has already received a refresh. As you guys know from this video, Yzma had a good refresh less than a year ago. She got some good improvements. However, she was still lacking a few things that couldn't elevate her outside of being like a niche within raids. Well, apparently, if you get 2 refreshes in 1 year, you're going to be straight up busted. So let's cut right to the chase here, guys. Yzma was everything the villains were missing. They needed a cleanser, they needed a bit of a healer, and just better supports overall. So let's go ahead and start off with her abilities. Which ones got refreshed and which ones are going to be solid? The short answer, all of them. Yzma's gonna give and remove turn meter like a mad freaking scientist. She is now one of the best healers within the game for a single target character. She has some of the best debuffs within Disney Sorcerer's Arena and arguably has a top, I don't know, 3, maybe top 5 passive within the game. I mean, she's absolutely loaded, and every turn that Yzma has, she's going to be beneficial both within the raids and then also in PvP. Now, we're going to talk about her effectiveness in those game modes in a second here. Let's just look at these abilities for a quick second and just highlight some of the crazy things that are going to happen. Now, first of all, her basic attack, one of my favorites that I've seen within the game. First of all, great damage, check. Second, calling characters to assist 50% of the time for villains or kingdoms, check. However, if the character has a harmful effect, it's a guaranteed assist, and guys, that's going to happen all the time. I want you to think about your villains and kingdoms roster. A lot of great characters to call to assist. You can put her on Machine Gun Hades. You're gonna have things like Ursula, like Beast. I mean, she can use this, and it's one of my favorite things. Now, if that wasn't enough, guys, if the target has a harmful effect, herself and whoever she calls is also going to get 30% turn meter. Like, this could be 10% turn meter, and this is still such a great cherry on top. Now, her first ability, Experimental Concoction, also banger. Some of the best healing that we've seen. She has 6,000 healing, and if the target is below the majority of their health, she's going to ramp that up to well past around 11 to 12,000 single target healing. Guys, most of my testing with Yzma was at Gear 8 yesterday. Look at this! She goes before the devils! And she still performed phenomenally. You guys, look at the left-hand side of the screen when I go through these. A lot of these abilities, you don't need a high gear-tiered Yzma, and she's a support character, so you don't even need to level her all that much to get the absolute best out of her kit. So as I was saying, Experimental Concoction, she's going to be healing one person, and then finally, we're going to be getting a great cleanser for the villains faction. They're all about harmfuls, but rarely are they about helpful effects. You see, she's going to be cleansing to 5 harmful effects on villains or kingdom characters. She's going to give continuous healing, which is, great. And then, of course, grant another 30% speed turn meter. Now, when this marries one of her passives, you're going to see the capabilities of what you can do. The fact that she is as fast as she is and is able to grant speed turn meter is what's going to make her elevate so many people around her. Now, as for her second ability, Pull the Lever. This was always something good. Like, since Yzma at launch, this was a good ability. And then she got a refresh. And then she got another one, making this ability super solid. They got rid of the magic reduction cost, so you can use this right when the battle begins. Let's go ahead and read what it does. Now, you're going to be dealing respectable damage. And on top of that, on a flanking row, so up to 3 characters, you're going to reduce up to half of their speed turn meter. right? And this won't matter if Yzma's not fast, but luckily she's Usain Bolt, so she's ready to go. And then on top of that, again, left-hand side of the screen, level 2 upgrade, Yzma's going to be gaining 50% turn meter, as well as Kronk if he's on the battlefield. So opening turn, you're going out there, you're removing turn meter from Titans or PvP characters, and then you're giving yourself another 50%. Insane ability, not a huge cooldown. Like, guys, as a free-to-play character, this just makes me want to swipe right on Yzma. Oh yeah, by the way, she starts out with this turn meter reduction, so you don't have to have her at a specific gear level. And on top of that, you can go ahead and, I don't know, add another 15% steal, going up to 65% if you do have a T9 Yzma. But trust me when I say you don't have to get her to do her job well. Now let's go ahead and move on to those 2 top 5 passives that I was talking about. Some of the best passives within the game. Now, first of all is Potent Potion. This is her, not as good as her other passive, but it's still completely bonkers. Check this out. So no cooldown, which is insane. And every time that Yzma starts her turn, she's going to have up to like a 55% chance, depending on your team lineup, but a 30% base chance, I don't know, to go ahead and throw 3 random, that could be any harmful effect within the game, for 2 turns on a random enemy and deal damage. And then in addition to that, on your own team, she can heal somebody, and then she can grant them 3 random helpful effects. So a little bit of RNG here, but it doesn't really matter, mainly because this harmful effect one is going to marry the other passive in a way that just makes her a mad scientist. Like, insane. Which takes us to I'm Brilliant. Guys, this is one of the best passives that we've ever seen. Okay, so first of all, Yzma's got good stats. We're gonna check that out here in a moment, but check out this passive on combat start. So whether it's raids, PvP, Yzma is going to gain 15% turn meter per villain and kingdom teammate. That's going to double stack. So kingdom villains, you're going to be having a Yzma that just goes first pretty much every single battle, no matter what. If you have her with some villains, she's still going to be going extremely fast. Or if you have her with kingdom, she's going to go extremely fast. So her plug and play ability is not only kingdom focused or kingdom villain focused or villain focused, it's a little bit of a plug and play no matter what your roster looks like. She's a great character to plug into a team to really add value. Now, the next thing is, if that wasn't enough to give her an instant turn to go ahead and give you the pull the lever to start the turn off, or give someone 30% turn meter like Gaston and give everybody another 30% turn meter. I mean, it's getting out of hand. But if you go and look at the bottom of I Am Brilliant, when an opponent gains 3 harmful effects from her passive, or I don't know, the other billion characters that give out multiple harmful effects, you're going to go ahead and deal insane damage, up to 6,000 here at a gear 8. And then you're going to deal 1 harmful effect of the following. And this is what's crazy. It could just be a random harmful. This would be a great ability. But no, step further with old Yzma here. You're going to inflict stun, or you're going to inflict silence, or sleep, or how about charm or polymorph. All of these are the best within the game. And then you guys obviously know within the raids, it's going to be very viable as well. So this is what makes her so crazy. She has a good passive, an awesome passive, 2 good abilities, and a basic. So every single turn that Yzma is going, you're going to have options. And there's so many different things that you can do with her. And truly, there's not a lot of characters in the game that every ability and every turn that they have within the raids or PvP is going to do something drastic to alter the battlefield. Okay, so you guys know about the OP abilities. Now, let's go ahead and do a quick checkup on the stats. A lot of people get confused here. Yzma doesn't have the best stats in the world, but she doesn't really need them. She has good recovery. You need good potency. 11% is kind of low for how many harmful effects are out there. And her health is at 21,000. This is at a gear 8. But altogether, not the worst stats. You don't have to bring her up to gear 9 because she gets speed passively. So you don't have to worry about her speed because she gets most of that from her passive. Usually you want to gear up characters to get them faster. But in this case, you're going to be leveling up Yzma to go ahead and have more health and also heal for more with her recovery stat. Now, turning your attention to the game modes, as you guys know, let's start with the raids. The most important pieces of the raids are turn meter gain, turn meter removal, putting on harmful effects that are powerful so you can do critical hits. Obviously, having things that can shut down the twisters or ice spikes like, you know, sleep and polymorph and those other strong harmful effects. And then obviously gaining all that turn meter so that you go ahead of the Titan, and then healing to keep your team alive. Well, you guys already know where I'm going with this. Yzma does all of those things. And so she's going to be great as just a general plug and play to amp up one of your teams. But on top of that, this secret sauce outside of the turn meter removal of 65% is the basic. Guys, shadowing Yzma is going to be huge for people like Genie, other villains on your team like Machine Gun Hades, Ursula, like we talked about before, or Beast, Horn King. These great characters that you can call to assist over and over and over with spells, or you can have them without spells and just have Yzma, who's going to be going all of the time. Like, truly, you're going to have to use some skill when using Yzma, because all of her abilities, you're going to have to make a judgment check what to use and when. In absolutely no time, mark my words, we're going to find so many teams for Yzma. We're going to make sure and highlight the essential teams, most likely with Cusco, if I was going to take a guess, and we'll be sure to have those videos, so subscribe if you haven't to the club already. We're almost at 15,000 subscribers. Now, next up, let's move to PvP. Guys, say goodbye to the princess meta. Someone named Yzma is coming on in to go ahead of all of the princesses on the battlefield. Absolutely crazy that Yzma was the secret sauce. You thought it was Mother Gothel? Nope. Yzma, the other old lady on the block, is like, step aside, and she's great in PvP. She's like the gift to free-to-play. Now, she doesn't have the strongest potency. Now, let me tell you why I say that. All these people that have extremely fast characters that are just going right before you, you can do pretty much nothing. Yzma can go ahead of most of those characters, remove their turn meter, and give your team a fighting chance. She's one of my favorite free-to-play characters, and I would put her as a top 5 essential. She'd definitely make the top 25 character list, and she's probably going to be S tier in no time. So, my friends, last couple of notes on Yzma. You're going to want to run a speed stone, most likely. Just amplify the already fast speed. You can go recovery as well. And the other great parts about her that we didn't mention is she's used to go ahead and try to unlock Maleficent and now Pacha and Cusco. So you're farming a character that's going to help you get other great characters as well. So there's just no reason that she shouldn't be at the priority of your farming, and you can get her a plethora of methods, but I'm pretty sure in the club exchange, very easy to access to grab yourself an Yzma. Alrighty, my friends, well, we've got a lot of Emperor's New Groove content coming at you over the next coming days, so if you guys haven't already, subscribe to the club. If you want to go ahead and check out the Twitch channel, we're going to be testing these characters a ton, so stop on by. It's always hype and always a party, I can promise you that. Guys, enjoy the rest of your day, and until next time, stay cozy.